I'm Ashrita, and I'm here with Laksh, who is a freshman at Princeton, and we're going to talk about his process and his advice to people who are applying to school or just for financial aid in general. Hi, Laksh. Nice to have you here. Congrats on Princeton, and I heard you got the Coca-Cola Scholarship, so congrats on that.
Thank
And can
you.
you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Laksh. I'm currently a freshman at Princeton. I'm from Massachusetts. I just went to a public school and I made it here, and I'm studying operations research and financial engineering. I'm interested in, I guess, like finance, and I probably want to create my own startup in the future. So yeah, that's just a little bit about myself.
That's very interesting. Do you know what type of startup yet?
No, probably something software related or fintech, like finance or technology, something around there. But I think my main goal in college right now is to just build the foundation and learn and gain some experiences, and then from there I'll create my own startup.
Now that you're in college, I'd love to know what your perspective is on the process, applying for financial aid.
Yeah, so I mean, I did apply for financial aid. Unfortunately, I didn't receive any. It's a very complicated process. You just have to make sure that you're on top of deadlines and making sure that you have all your documents sorted out. You want to talk to your parents. You want to make sure that you have like your finances figured out. Also, all these colleges, they're very expensive, right? I mean, most private institutions are now going above $75,000 a year. So you want to make sure that you are um you're picking the right major. You have like your finances figured out. I mean, if you are like middle class and you're going to be studying like arts and humanities at like a private institution, it might not be worth it. You want to be really careful with what you're doing to make sure that you're not in debt for a long period of time. You really don't want to go into debt for higher education. But I mean, if you are going to like a top five, like if you're going to an institution like Princeton, and you're studying economics, like it's probably worth it to take out the loan to because I mean your return on investment will be very, very big if you work hard. So yeah, you just have to be prepared and just like talk with your parents and talk with people around you to figure out what kind of risk you are taking.
I do know you did get the Coca-Cola scholarship, am I right?
Yeah, yeah. I was very fortunate to get the Coca-Cola scholarship. It's very hard to get. I was honestly I was super lucky. I mean, the acceptance rate for that scholarship is I believe 0.1%. So I mean, it's a lot harder to get that to even get into these top schools. So I was very, very fortunate. And that scholarship is around $20,000. And yeah, so it is helping, it is putting a little bit of a dent on my I guess tuition. But another thing to note with scholarships and tuition is a lot of these private institutions, like if they're giving you any financial aid, for example, if Princeton's giving you like $10,000 a year in financial aid or 20,000, they take and you win additional scholarships, they might reduce your financial aid based on those scholarships. So you want to be careful with you want to make sure that you are like, I guess, calculating everything, looking at all of the fine print. And yeah, and also make sure that like taxes, it can kind of get complicated with taxes. I was dealing with that. A lot of people don't talk about that. Like, get some tax benefits too. Like if you pay for part of your own tuition, which I did, I paid for most of my first semester. I got a significant amount of tax benefits from that. So that can also help.
That's a really nice benefit that I don't think most people are aware about.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I guess just sorry to cut you off, but like if you're kind of confused on the process, Google is obviously a really good tip, but that can also be kind of overwhelming. Honestly, what I did for to figure most of this stuff out was ChatGPT, which kind of sounds like it's ironic, but it because it has all the information, it has all the tax codes in there and all that, so you can search it up and like figure it out. Okay, like I know some people they got scholarships, right? And your financial aid goes down if you're getting scholarship. So to make sure that your financial aid doesn't go down, what they did was they took out federal student loans and then used those loans to pay off the scholarship. And they didn't get taxed on that. And then they also paid part of their tuition. So they got another tax benefit. So that's how they maximized their money. And they were able to figure that out through ChatGPT. So if you have like a complicated situation like that, definitely use ChatGPT. Talk to your parents. If you have like a family account, talk to him. It can be, yeah, it's a super complicated situation, but I mean, it's a good situation to be in.
Definitely, AI is definitely helping the world way more and many more ways than we like probably saw in the last 5 years. Hearing about how difficult it is to get the Coca-Cola scholarship, how did you prepare for that to and eventually receive it?
So I guess at the time I was so I mean I was applying to college and then I was like, okay, it's pretty expensive. I should maybe look at some scholarships. And I did a lot of research online to f find scholarships. There's a lot of lists you can find online, and a majority of the scholarships they help I guess like people like from underrepresented backgrounds. So if you like women instead, there's so many scholarships for people in underrepresented backgrounds. So if you fall into one of those categories, make sure you maximize like apply to every single one you can. I unfortunately did not fall into them, so I only had a couple options, and Coca-Cola scholarship that was like the only one I actually applied to. And they're pretty similar to your, I guess, regular college application. You honestly don't need to do much. Just make sure you put everything out there. You want to showcase yourself in the best way possible. Like, obviously, you don't want to exaggerate, but you also don't want to underrepresent yourself. And just be personable and really show these people that, like, yeah, you're gonna try to change the world. And by them giving you the scholarship, they're helping not just you, but like society. So I think that's my, I guess, advice.
Definitely, it's about overall impact at the end of the day. Do you have any other suggestions you have for high schoolers who are currently applying or about to start applying?
I guess a couple things. One would be like make sure you also apply to local scholarships. Towns like your town high school scholarship, they all have a lot of scholarships with very little competition, I guess, because you're not competing with the whole country. So make sure you apply to those. I was able to get like $1,000 and that was like straight cash that went to my bank account, which was super helpful, right? Um, Also, when applying to colleges, you want to account for like I guess yeah, like tuition, especially. Don't make sure don't you don't apply to like all the schools like you really don't want to be applying to 25 20 schools. So for example, like when I was looking at my college list, I'm from Massachusetts, so I guess my safety school was UMass Amherst, right? That's the state school. But like looking at Northeastern, BC, Boston College, and Boston University and Boston College don't really give out any merit scholarships, and they're $90,000 a year. So I'd much rather just go to UMass Amherst over Boston College and Boston University. So I didn't apply to those, but I did apply to Northeastern because I know they give out merit scholarships and people get them. And when I applied, I made sure I applied early, and I did get the merit scholarship. So you want to make sure you're applying to schools that like if you get accepted to, you actually would go, or like there's like a chance. Like there's no reason for you to be applying to these like super expensive private institutions if your state school is almost just as good and you're not going. And honestly, you also want to apply to a lot of state schools because like for example, I've been telling all my friends to apply to University of Florida. It's a great school. It's been named like a public Ivy, right? It's top eight public school in the country and it's like $25,000 a year. Why would you go to like a private institution in the Northeast where you're paying literally four times that, and University of Florida is like ranked higher. So, and it's a lot more fun. So just make sure you account for tuition, account for really what you want, and don't just apply everywhere because everybody is.
Definitely, that's why creating a strong college list with many different options on it is definitely going to help you in the long run.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Lex, for being here. I really appreciate your advice, very valuable advice, and I appreciate you taking time out of your day to be here. Thank you so much.
of course. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for doing this.